Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host Paul, and I've always liked that the Antman movies show that no matter what size you are, you can still get the girl. It's something I relate to a lot. What? And the little guy has made a big impact in the MCU. From what we saw at San Diego Comic-Con, Antman and the Wasp Quantumania has the potential to be one of the biggest or smallest movies in Phase 5, and throughout this video we're going to be breaking down what happened in the teaser. Kevin Feige announced at San Diego Comic-Con that this will be the first film in the phase, and we know from the trailer leak that it'll introduce Kang the Conqueror. He was of course brought up by He Who Remains at the end of Loki, and there's been a lot of chatter online after the event about how good Jonathan Majors is. Now what's interesting about Kang is that there's so many different versions of him in the Marvel Universe. Whether it's Rama Tut, Immortus, Victor Timely, Iron Lad, or whoever, you never know which version of Kang that you're gonna get. There are an infinite number of him across the multiverse, the majority of which have the ability to move throughout it, and therefore every time a character runs into him, it's a roll of the dice. Now Phase 6 will end with 2 Avengers movies in the same year, both of which will centre around Kang and his dynasty. So lots of things are going to be happening in Quantumania that have big repercussions, and the first look gives some Jonathan Major things away. Ha! Now you've either seen people filming the ceiling of the event of it on Twitter, or you've heard people talking about what happens in it. Either way, I just want to go through it bit by bit and break down everything about it, and if you enjoy the video, please hit the thumbs up button, and also don't forget to subscribe for videos like this every day. Without the way, thanks for clicking this. Also spoilers, yeah? Now let's get into the video. Okay, so Quantumania will heavily feature Kang, and this is going to be made clear from the off. According to people at the event, he narrates the new look from the beginning, and throughout it we hear him saying, "You're an interesting man, Scott Lang. You've lost a lot of time. But time, it's not what you think. It's not a straight line. When you can see time the way I do, you can see everything." Which it annoys me a bit, that, because I should have been cast as Kang. No. Anyway, now this of course, it would have been alright, wouldn't it? Now this of course is referring to Scott getting lost in the quantum realm after the events of Antman and the Wasp. Though to him it only felt like a handful of hours, the real world has had 5 years go by, and because of this his daughter aged up from a kid to a teen.
Baby, 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 got your license to drive. Got your license to drive me.
Whoa, no mate, get that off. Anyway, we know from the poster that Cassie Lang will be returning for the movie, and though she's now played by Catherine Newton, she'll be a very big part of the adventure. The first poster for the film shows her in a purple suit, and it's likely that she'll be becoming the character Stinger from the comics. She was also called Stature at one point, but I think they'll probably just jump straight to Stinger, as it fits better with the bug personas that the rest of the squad have. Now from what my uncle could make out watching the dodgy clip on Twitter, there's a tiny blue beacon that opens up in the lab, and Cassie gets sucked into this along with the rest of the characters. It seems that they're experimenting on the quantum realm, and whether Cassie opens this up accidentally, or someone from inside it pulls them in, remains to be seen. My guess is that they're all taken there though, including Janet, who will likely help them to navigate the dimension. This can be slightly seen in the trailer, and Janet ends up donning her hooded costume that she had on in Antman and the Wasp when Hank was reunited with her. We don't know exactly what she got up to when she was down there, but it seems like she found refuge in Kang City, which exists in the dimension. Janet seems to be the age that she would have been on Earth, and we saw with Scott that the area he was in had time moving differently. So Janet likely found refuge for the 30 odd years she was down there, and just chilled out watching Heavy Spoilers amazing videos, like in Subway. Now according to the people at the event, there's a point in it where we see the group all journeying there, and it's filled with humanoids that have markings on their face. There's also Kang's suit from the comics, which has the classic purple helmet with a blue face covering. In the source material, his skin was blue, but it looks like it's a suit here that he uses to travel through the quantum realm. There's apparently a lot of different looks for Kang in the teaser, with some even having his mask off. These could be the same version of Kang, or as we've discussed, different iterations of him from different timelines. It's even possible that we saw this location in Antman and the Wasp, and if Janet found refuge here, then she could be used as a way to give some exposition on Kang. Now though that happened before the events of Loki when the timeline was split, time moves differently in the quantum realm, so you have things happening there after the end of time, which is when the ending of Loki took place. Lots of timey-wimey wibbly-wobbly stuff, but either way Kang has encountered the Avengers before, or at least versions of them. In the teaser, Scott says to him, "I don't know who you are, but you've made a big mistake. I am an Avenger." Should have done the accent for that, might have got cast in a movie. Anyway, Kang replies by saying, "You're an Avenger, I am a Conqueror." He also asks if he's killed them before, and he drops this completely nonchalantly, showing that he may have killed an infinite number of them across an infinite number of timelines. It's pretty wild, and it instantly sets up Kang as a threat that's not to be f***ed with. Now, whereas Thanos wiped out trillions of people with a snap of his finger, Kang has conquered countless timelines, and in some instances, killed far more than Thanos ever could. He wiped out everyone that ever was, and everyone who would ever be in those timelines, and it's all in his quest for domination. Now, it looks like he's also going to be joined by the villain MODOK. According to rumours on the film, he will be played by Corey Stoll, who played Darren Cross in the first Ant-Man film. You'll probably remember that he ended up getting stuck in the quantum realm himself, and he likely got picked up by Kang and drafted into his forces. Originally in the comics, MODOK was a character called George Tollerton, but it looks like they've changed things up a bit, and honestly, I think it works better with the story. We don't really need a big origin breakdown during the movie if he's simply Cross, so cross that off your list, you stupid bitch. Now, his design has been slightly changed up, and he's now more like a cyborg rather than being a giant human head. Anyway, other miscellaneous things that happen are that we see Bill Murray at one point taking his glasses off. We don't know which character that he is, and as of now, we don't know anything beyond him seemingly knowing Janet. Now, there are rumours that he's playing Krylar, a character who popped up in the Incredible Hulk issue 156. Krylar was introduced and killed in the same issue, so there's very little to go off with him. However, he did live in the microverse, so yeah, he'll likely be someone who lives in the quantum realm under Kang's command. Now, Marvel don't actually own the rights to use the word microverse, hence the change to quantum realm, though I would have loved the name Microversamania. Either way, he does seem to know Janet, so maybe he was a love interest with her while she was down there, which would make things a bit awkward with Hank.
If you want to be happy, living a king's life, never make a pretty woman your wife.
Don't quote me on that though, cause I might be wrong, and my uncle judged it off watching the corner of a video filmed on a phone. Now, he has glasses on that he takes off, and we could see in the first look that he looks human. So whether it's him or they did a different design, we just don't know. Moon Knight did something similar too, where they took a very obscure character in Arthur Harrow, and it just means that they can really do what they want with him while still giving a nod to the comics. Now, Murray has kept tight-lipped about it too, and when asked about the project, he said that he doesn't normally do movies like this, but he simply just liked Peyton Reed and got on with him. It's a nice reason to join it, and there's also a couple of cute shots that we get in the trailer. These center around Scott reading his own book out at an event. The character, of course, read a lot after the events of Civil War when he was under house arrest, and he's now become somewhat of a celebrity. The book is titled Look Out for the Little Guy, and it'll also complement his podcast, which was brought up during Ms. Marvel. Apparently, this has turned him into a bit of a celebrity, and instead of staying a hero, he's been out of action and is focused on this for a while. We actually see him and Hope at a premiere at one point, and he's carved out a big name for himself. I got a lot of vibes watching, my uncle got a lot of vibes watching it, and hopefully he has better luck in the bedroom than Termite does. He then gets a call from jail, and after picking it up, he's connected to Cassie. She's sort of doing what he used to do and breaking the law, but for the right reasons. However, he doesn't want her to waste her life behind bars like he did. He brings up saving the world again, which Hank calls him out for, as apparently he always does it. Now, this has created a gap between the pair, and at the moment, they have a strained relationship due to his constant need to brag. I think because of that, this movie is going to be about humbling Scott on a number of levels. Time to make that ego shrink down too, and we're not only going to have his daughter taking him down a peg or two, but also Kang. I really think Kang is going to wipe the floor with him in this movie, and that it'll end on him losing, which will set the villain up as a major threat. Scott will probably get a win against MODOK, but Kang has all the angles covered, and can probably beat him on a number of levels. Beating the guy who saved the entire world, wowza, what a bloody great victory, but I think it's definitely going to set the stage for how dangerous that Kang is. I originally thought the movie might be some goofy trip through the quantum realm, but by the sounds of it, it's going to be extremely important. The Ant-Man movies have always been sort of wildcards in the MCU, and though they're mainly comedies, they do have their big moments, and even a lot of stuff that had big ramifications in Avengers Endgame. It's all building to Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, which we now know will be directed by Destin Daniel Cretton. He's coming hot off the heels of Shang-Chi, and it's going to be interesting to see what the character does with it. Anyway, from what my uncle could make out, the trailer looks really good, and I am excited to see where they take things next. Obviously, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the movie and what you hope to see in it, so make sure that was pretty crap, that one. So make sure you comment below and let me know. Now, we are running a competition right now and giving away 3 copies of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness on the 15th of August, and all you have to do to be on the chance of winning is like the video, make sure you subscribe with notifications on, and drop a comment below with your thoughts on the teaser. The winners of the last one will be on screen right now, so if that's you, then message me on Twitter at HeavySpoilers. If you want something else to watch, then make sure you check out our breakdown of Daredevil Born Again, which will be linked on screen right now. That's my most anticipated thing from the upcoming slate, and if you're interested in it, then definitely head over there right after this. By the way, thanks for sitting through the video. I've been Paul, I'll see you next time. Take care, peace.
Man, from a logical point of view, better marry a woman uglier than you.